Hey guys, my name's Hannah, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pie. And since it's almost fall time, I did pick to make a pumpkin pie. So the first, very most important step is to preheat the oven. For the pie that we're making today, you need to preheat the oven to 425 degrees. Preheating, and you want that to preheat while you're like getting your ingredients ready. So by the time you're finished preparing your pie, it's ready. The oven is ready for you to put it in. Okay, so the ingredients slash materials that you need for this is a large mixing bowl, some sort of mixing spoon and a spatula to get all of the filling out, a can opener to open your sweetened or evaporated milk and your pumpkin pie mix, and then you also need 2 large eggs, and I just got this pre-made like Pillsbury pumpkin pie dough or crust. Hey guys, future self Hannah, you also need a whisk and a cookie sheet. Back to you, Hannah. So I just already opened this can of pumpkin pie filling. Just gotta get the lid off, which is dangerous. Be sure not to cut yourself when you're taking the lid off your pumpkin pie mix. And then you should use the spatula to get all of that out of there and put it into your big bowl. And then you need 2/3 cup of this evaporated milk, which I'm pretty sure is just the whole can. And so I'm just gonna put the whole can in, which is 12 fluid ounce can of evaporated milk. And once again, you have to shake this. Be sure to shake your evaporated milk well. And then I gotta open this can. Okay, so now that you have your evaporated milk can open, be careful not to spill it. I just almost spilled it. You can go ahead and just add all of that evaporated milk into your pie. And then you just add in your 2 large eggs. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to crack an egg, but make sure you don't get any of the shell in there. And also, there's like a 50-50 chance that these could be hard-boiled, but I'm pretty sure they're not. The first one wasn't. Perfect, that one's not either. And then you just gotta mix all of that together and make sure it's really well mixed and that you break up the yolks. Make sure to break up the yolks. And also make sure that it's really well mixed in, because I have made, not a pie, but I've made cakes before where there's just like a layer of egg because I didn't mix it all in good enough. So make sure you mix it really, really well. Okay, so I did switch to using a whisk about halfway through that just to make sure that you like have everything really well combined and like make sure that you broke up all the eggs so there's not going to be any layer of egg or anything. We don't want that. We really want this pie to be great. So then the next step of our pie making process would be to get out our pre-made pie dough. If you want to make things harder on yourself, you can always just look up like a pie dough recipe, or like if your family has like some sort of secret pie dough recipe, that's awesome. Like you can do that. This does come with 2 in there, but today we only need 1 of the pie doughs. So take out that top one and set it aside. And then this dough pretty much comes just ready. I would recommend getting a fork and piercing little holes into the pie dough. Let me grab a fork. So grabbing a fork and just piercing little holes, if you can tell what I'm doing. I'm sure a lot of you have done this with like pizza dough or like any type of dough, and that's just to prevent it from like bubbling up underneath. Like, have you ever gotten a slice of pizza that has like a little bubble of pie dough in it? You don't want that. So you want like it to be nice and flat on the bottom. We don't want bubbles in our pie. So once you have like a moderate amount of little fork holes, and honestly like do more than you think just to make sure that it's really well done, we're just gonna go ahead and pour our pie mix into our pie. And this might be a little bit difficult, it might get a little messy, but that's okay because the end result will just be great. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and pray that I don't get this everywhere. Seems to be working out pretty well. And then you want to fill it all the way to the top pretty much, because you don't want a lot of like extra dough, because nobody really likes the dough. Like, this is the best part. So we're just going to fill it as high as we can without overfilling it, because it will rise a little bit with the egg in there. So like this is pretty good. It's not like over the edge or anything, and like it's pretty well on there. And then our next step, you're actually going to need a cookie dough like flat sheet to put this on top of to bake. Okay, so I just got a flat cookie sheet, and this just makes it easier to put it into the oven. So just very carefully put that pie without spilling it over onto your cookie sheet. How great was that? And this also, if it does end up overflowing in the oven, it doesn't make your oven a mess because you have it on a cookie sheet. So once your oven is preheated, we're just gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, we are going to do something different. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for 15 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so my pie has been in the oven for 15 minutes at that 425 heat. And after that 15 minutes that you let it bake, you want to lower the heat down to 350 degrees. And then we're gonna bake it for another 50 to 60 minutes. And I don't really know why we do this, but it is to make the pie bake better. So make sure you, after that 15 minutes of first baking at 425 degrees, lower the temperature to 350 degrees, and we're gonna bake it the rest of the way on 350 degrees. So now 50 to 60 minutes at 350 degrees in the oven. Okay guys, so it has now been in the oven at 350 degrees for 60 minutes, and it looks done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. You know, if your pie doesn't look quite done after that 50 to 60 minutes, you can always put it in for a little bit longer, but mine does look finished. Here she is in all of her glory. I just almost dropped it. That would have been bad. Just to double check that it is finished, you can take a toothpick and poke it into the middle of it, which I'm going to do. And your toothpick should come out clean. Which perfect, it did pretty much. If it's like, this is pretty much clean, yeah. So now, one of the most important steps is to let it sit for like an hour to an hour and a half. Not only to cool, but also to like get more gelatinous. And then it will just like, if you were to serve it now, then it would like melt like soup. So you need to let it cool for an hour to an hour and a half. And that is a very important step. So pretty much that's all that you really need to do to make a pumpkin pie. This is the finished product. You can cut and serve it after that hour and a half and serve it with like whipped cream or something, or anything that you'd like to put on your pumpkin pie. Just to go back over, I showed you all the steps. I showed you what ingredients. You need a big bowl to mix it all in, and then you need to put it into your pie crust and put it in the oven for at first 15 minutes at 425 degrees, and then drop the temperature to 350 degrees and do it for 50 to 60 minutes, and then it will come out looking perfect like this. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys will recreate this and have a good fall this year with your pumpkin pie. Bye.